Welcome back to Dr. Walls and Friends with Dr. McCoy Deh, and we've been talking about your life in Ghana this year. And now this is not your first time to Ghana.
No, this is my second time to Ghana. My first trip was in 2013.
Okay.
Around this time, I think I left right after Christmas and spent maybe 2 weeks there. It was a work-related trip. So that was my intro to West Africa. And I left with more questions than I came with.
Yeah.
We were looking at identity and dress or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was all very interesting, but it became very clear to me halfway through that we weren't going to get anything done around that.
Okay.
In that little bit of time, I was like, it's just not going to happen. But meanwhile, in traffic,
Yes.
it's such a dynamic.
Can we talk about that?
Yes.
Yes, let's tell the people about that. Go
Traffic.
ahead.
So I'm not going to talk about the driving. I'm just going to talk about...
That's an experience in itself.
Yeah, but the enterprise. So Ghanaians have a hustle, very industrious people. So there's lots of traffic, but there's great use made of the time you spend in traffic.
Yes.
So you can buy anything in traffic. You can buy paper towels, toilet paper, shoe polish, phone cards,
steering wheel covers,
snacks,
windshield wiper blades,
sunglasses, shoes,
yes, pants, belts,
everything.
Yes,
You
laundry
name
detergent,
You name it.
bread.
I'm like Shirley Caesar. You name it.
Yes.
You name it. Yes. Yes, anything in traffic.
It is amazing. I said I want to be funded to do a research project on everything that you can acquire from when you get in the car at the beginning of the day to what you will have to the end of the day. And all the things that you can buy.
You get breakfast on the way to work.
Yes, you can.
Get
Papaya
snacks,
already cut,
fruit.
watermelon already cut.
Yeah, sobolo.
Yes.
Everything.
It's amazing.
Water. Yeah. We brought cable from the window.
See?
Put the satellite dish in the truck. I'm out of the truck.
That's right.
Amazing. We'll come. Here's the number. We'll come install it tonight. In traffic.
It's incredible.
Fabric.
Yes.
With fabric from the window.
Yes.
Yeah, everything. So that was so amazing to me. It's so refreshing because you get this UNICEF picture of Africa, right?
Yes.
There's unrest, there's civil war, there's poverty, there's starvation. People come, people know I'm in Ghana. Oh, you're on a mission trip? I ain't seen no missionaries since I've been in Ghana. You know, I'm sure they're around. You know, I don't know them. I'm not involved with that. But the people are super industrious.
Yes,
and I thought
are.
it was so interesting to see how people work. And there's work for everyone.
Yes.
So there was a time if you were physically challenged, then you could work in factory sewing because it was a seated position. They found work for you. So even the people who were clearly struggling financially, but they can sell things in traffic. Most households, if they have the means, have domestic help.
Yes.
Right? There are people who would help you park. Make sure you back into the spot at the mall parking lot, right?
Yes.
So just like anything there is to do that can be helpful.
They do.
Yeah. And you don't harass you.
No.
So it's great because I'm like, okay, that's nice.
It's very nice.
That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the people, a lot of the service workers, I think it's so respectful of humanity there. So I'm thinking about the guys and the women, the men and the women who are custodial staff in our building at work. And they don't, like here, a custodial staff works overnight. You have a day crew. But the people who really clean the bathrooms and offices, they come at night. Well, when the late classes are over, they're looking at you like,
yes,
I know this class is over. You're going out of here so we can all go home.
Yes.
Everybody goes home, but they're there 7 o'clock in the morning, cleaning the bathrooms, emptying the trash in your offices, fixing locks on doors, whatever there is to be done. And they're respected.
Yes.
The students respect them.
Yes.
The faculty respect them. So, and they're included, you know, they're included in things that go on.
Yeah.
So back to the whole, like, function, everybody has a purpose.
Yeah.
And when I arrived, I had to sign a contract that had to go to like 10 different people around campus. I was like, I don't know, I know 2 buildings. I don't know how to, and they said, no. Robert will take them. He will deliver them for you. I was like, I don't want to bother him. They're like, no. It's like people there to make things happen.
Yes.
And if something needs to be done, they want you to focus on
what you're there to
work.
focus on.
And that's not just me, that's everybody.
Yes.
And so they employ people to do a lot of these other things. And if people need work, they're happy to be able to work in a place where there's dignity.
Yes.
And they're appreciated.
Yes. Respect.
And
Yes.
yeah. So I respect that. And I'm like, that's not how we operate.
You know, it's so
all the time here.
Right. And that's one thing that I noticed. There were 3 words that I used to describe my time in Ghana: peaceful, gentle,
yes.
and simple.
Yeah. And not really lacking.
Not at all. Not at all.
They work it out.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, this is different from the way I do it out, but it works just as well.
Exactly.
And I'm okay.
It does. It does work. And take a moment. Can we talk about the University of Ghana?
Yes.
But that is the biggest campus I have ever experienced.
Yeah.
I do not know the equivalent here. I've thought about it and I have yet to come up with one.
I don't know. I've never been on a campus that large and that I am aware of. Now, University of Maryland College Park is pretty
It's
big,
big,
but I don't know it well enough and haven't spent enough time there to know if it's that large. But it didn't feel as expansive as the University of Ghana.
And they also have a lot of undeveloped land or land yet to be developed.
Yeah, and they're clearing some space for different things that are going. But you see little goats on the side.
Yes.
You know, like, oh, they're grazing. You know, leave them alone.
Lecture halls with hundreds of students.
My undergraduate class, I don't even know how many there are in there.
Wow.
I've never taken roll.
Wow.
I'm a visiting faculty member.
Yes.
My co-faculty member, I'm like, your name is on the registration stuff, so I'm gonna let you handle that. But I had a picture, and I'm like, everybody move in. But I have a microphone. I have to use a microphone for that class. It's well over 100 kids in there, students. And they have the graduated things, and it's like, can you hear me in the back?
Right.
And they're like, it's okay.
So my mic sounds
Right.
nice.
Check one. Yes. I have to check one.
Yeah.
But there are times when I'm meeting someone for lunch. I'm like, oh, that's walkable. I'm gonna walk. I get outside in that heat because the air is nice and cool in the office, and then I go outside and I burst into flames, and the taxi goes beep beep, and I'm like, thank you, and I hop right in the back seat and pay him his 5, 10 cities, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, so there are taxis that'll take you anywhere on campus.
Yes.
Ubers.
Yes.
There's shuttle buses, but it's so easy to walk out and take a taxi and they know the campus.
That's right.
Or to take a taxi or Uber
That's right.
home. So I'm like, it's where my building is right near one of the 4 entry gates.
Okay.
There's an entry gate I've yet to.
No,
I don't even know where it is.
Yes.
But I know it takes you to West Lagoon.
And there's that point on campus where you can get 360 degrees of.
Where's that?
Oh, you have to check with Cousin Albie.
Okay.
He can tell you.
It's
He
discovered
took me
once
up
a
there.
week.
It's
I'm
up
like,
near
I need
the
to.
chancellor's house. It's
I don't know.
yes, it's up there, and you get a beautiful view of the city.
I don't think I've been there.
Okay.
I've been to some other private houses.
Yes.
And past the guest house because my daughter went to school on campus for a little while. And I've been lost plenty on campus. But I don't think I've been to that point.
Oh, you'll have to go up.
And I stumbled across one of the gates. The office is near one. I come through the open gate that you don't require the ticket. And then on a field trip, we went through another gate, and I said, "Oh," but that 4th gate, I've never seen it.
Now, speaking of field trips, have you gone either on this trip or previous trip to the slave castles yet?
Yes, on my last trip, the first trip, we went to Cape Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Door of No Return, that whole. So I went and I took my nephew with me, who is my husband's nephew, because he's from Togo, but had recently moved to Ghana and hadn't seen any of it. So I'm like, come on, Phil, you're coming with us. So it was just as the documentaries and the textbooks had described. So it wasn't new to me, but I still felt like I needed to touch it and breathe that air for myself.
Yes.
So the docent was very good. Having taught this for years, I was listening very carefully.
I'm sure you were.
To see if I had some wrong information. It was there something new, but it was consistent with what we learned about it, which was fantastic.
Yes.
But the one thing, the person with me was not African American, and I guess we spent a little more time than she was comfortable with there. But she didn't say that. But there was this book that we could sign.
Yes.
And I just went and I wanted to read some of the names in the book, but it was just people who were visiting like us. But then I signed, the book, and I don't remember what else you had to write in it or can write. And she was like, "You're gonna sign the book?" And I just looked at her. It was kind of like, "You're not here." Don't. You shouldn't. You didn't even need to be here. You didn't need to come. You're a voyeur here. This is. You're not really into this.
It's not a personal connection.
And so, yes. I haven't yet been this trip because I want to take my daughter.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if her school is going to have a field trip.
Yeah.
But then January starts our visitors.
Yes.
We have a guest book.
Okay.
Because we have to make sure we have only 2 people coming at a time, so we can make everybody comfortable.
Right.
But that's going to be a few trips.
Okay.
So if 2 people are there, I can put them on a bus trip.
Right.
If there's one, that's going to be me, and I'll bring my daughter.
Right.
But so yeah.
No, I asked you that because that was my question when I was there, and I found out that so much of the African American history was not known that I began to wonder. It was like, if the slave castles are right here, to me it would seem that would be a field trip that all schools would go on. And when I asked some of my students at Webster University, some said that they had gone when they were in school, whether it be boarding school or day school, but some said that they hadn't been.
Yeah, I think it's like for, those of us who grew up and went to school in Philly, it's like, have you been to see the Liberty Bell?
Right. Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, I think I was in first grade, or when people come to town, I'll take them because they want to do it.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of an intellectual, historical, distant. And I think it might be different for people who live in the Jamestown area because that's less of a tourist attraction, but that's what happened there.
Right.
And people are still there. You have a lot of visitors who come, but yeah, I'm interested in going to Benin, to Ouida.
Okay.
Because in my readings there was a lot about Dahomey, and that's now Benin. I think if I have my geography right. And so we're actually going to take a road trip to Togo and Benin.
Okay.
When my daughter's on spring break, so I can go. That's where Ghana doesn't have a lot. There's Elmina, Cape Coast.
Cape Coast and Elmina.
But Benin.
Yes.
That's where and I was like, I haven't put it together.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm looking forward to that.
And and we were also talking just the other day. I was looking at a map. I think we're looking at Gabon. And so realizing and remembering that these boundary lines that are creating these countries have changed over the years. But so there's pieces of history throughout, of course, all of it. And taking the time to learn it. Taking the time to invest in one's history and one's understanding. And you have taken it to a whole nother level by being this scholar, by having this Fulbright experience and being able to delve into the learning yourself as well as delve into the teaching.
Yeah, because even on all of the syllabi I've used over the years here, one of the lines I have in there is, I'm looking forward to learning from you.
Yes.
Because if you're a teacher in any environment, and you don't expect to learn something, even if you're preschool, elementary, probably more so there.
Yes.
You always learn.
Always.
I mean, I so look forward to to saying I don't know, or I have to, where can I find more?
Yes.
And I want my students to get that in my classroom, but I want to get that as well. I feel like it's an exchange. But one of the ways to focus on that and learn it is to follow the ethnic groupings, because the ethnic groups were deliberately split. So if you had one group, and I'll use Ewe because that's what I know more about through my husband, but Ewes are in Ghana, Togo, and Benin. But Ewe land was Ewe land, right? And in making the borders, the split was just as intentional as it was in slavery and dividing people who spoke the same languages so they couldn't communicate, and more importantly, so they could not collaborate.
Exactly.
So same way, you had people say, well, why Africans always fighting each other? Not fighting each other. You put people together who don't speak the same language and who may have had some issues with each other.
That's right.
And now you're saying, and then you might say this one is over there, and so you expect it to be peaceful. It's like Americans and Mexicans are all Americans, but they're two different people. We speak different languages. They have different cultures. And because our skin is the same color in Africa doesn't mean we are the same people.
Right.
But it's been presented as Africa.
Right.
Not 54 distinct countries, cultures, I don't know how many languages and religions.
Exactly.
So, but if you follow, Yoruba, Ashanti, Ewe, Fulani, Fon, they can tell you who they are in the derivations. But those were the borders. And they're split. It's rare you're going to find one significantly large ethnic group that falls within one current day post-colonial country. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's a little, that's how they do it.
Yes.
They go by ethnic group. Like, that's how they can say, oh, so you're this? Oh, where's your husband from? I was like, you got to ask.
I don't know. Right.
But that's kind of
so much to learn.
The reading of who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much to learn. All right, so we're going to take this last break. When we come back, we're going to find out what's next on your agenda as you get ready to close out this year.
Okay.
In 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Six
Six months.
left. Yes.
We'll be back in a moment.
All right.